All right, hello YouTubers. It's Friday night, July 13th. And I got a couple of projects going. Gonna try to stay motivated this weekend, even though I had a long week. So I'm working on a project. I'm making a router extension table with a router lift for my table saw. And in order to make the router lift, I need a bandsaw to make some of the cuts. So I have this bandsaw. It's an old 8-inch or 9-inch Delta that a buddy of mine gave me free. I made a couple of videos on the bandsaw, so I won't go over that. But in order to finish my other project, I've got to get this bandsaw running because I need to make some cuts with a bandsaw, and this thing wasn't working. So the blade was coming off of it, and I was having just all kinds of trouble with it, and never got it working. Long story short, I ordered new tires for it, and the rubber tires that go on the wheels, and I also ordered a new blade. So pulled the old tires off. They were probably the original tires, and this thing's probably 20 years old. Anyways, I ordered tires from polybelt.com. So I don't know if you can see that. Polybelt.com is where I got the tires. I entered my my model number in, which is I believe 28-180, and it told me what size tires I needed. I ordered them up. It was about $30, I believe, for two. And let's see, I ordered them Sunday night, I believe, and I got them on Thursday. So good fast shipping. I believe these folks are in New Jersey. That's really all I know about the tires. So there's some type of, they're not rubber, they're like a rubberized plastic, some type of polyethylene or poly something or other. Started by sticking the tires on, and I'm going to link in some footage of me putting the tires on. Basically, I got it over one side, and I used a clamp to hold it in place. And then I went about maybe a quarter of the way over. I put another clamp, and then I went like a quarter of the way from the other direction. I put a third clamp, and that basically held the tire maybe about 2/3 of the way onto the wheel. And then I used the tool that came with it. I suppose I should have had that here. This tool right here, you can see me using this to stick on between the tire and the wheel, and like kind of using it to roll the tire on there. Basically, it's a nail into a piece of wood with a plastic sleeve on it. So that's what that is. As I rolled the tire around, I just pushed it onto the wheel, and it popped right on there. And then to make sure it was seated onto the wheel, I just rolled the wheel around and just pushed it with my fingers until it was seated down in there. And I didn't have any issues. Did the same thing on the bottom. I switched to the bottom wheel. I put the tire on, and I clamped it again to hold it, and then I went about a quarter of the way, put another clamp, and went about a quarter of the way the other direction, put another clamp, and then I stretched it again using the tool, same way as I did with the top wheel, and got the tire on. So I got it seated the same way, and then I put a new belt or a new blade on. So this saw takes let's see, I don't want to tell you the wrong information. It takes, okay, so this saw takes 1/8" blades, 1/4" blades, and 3/8" blades. So I ordered up a 3/8" Olson blade. This is what I got. Ordered it off Amazon. And it's a 56 1/8" blade, 3/8" wide, and it's .014 kerf, if you will. They say it's heavy duty cuts for resawing. Sure, I guess so for a small saw like this. I don't know much else about the blade. Oh, it's 4 teeth per inch. And it gives you all this important information about cutting and circles and all the different radiuses recommended and teeth per inch and all that stuff. Truth be told, I ordered the biggest blade that would fit on the saw, and just went for it. Olson, I think, is a old-time standby type of blade. It's probably not the best blade in the world, and it's certainly not the worst blade in the world. But I'm here to tell you, I fired this thing up, and I cut this piece of plywood, and I'll make another cut for you here in just a second. But holy moly, I mean, what a difference. First of all, the blade actually stays on the saw, so the tires fixed that problem. What was happening was the tires wore out, and when the bandsaw was spinning, the tires were actually flying off of the saw, which would take the blade with it. So that fixed that problem. The second problem was the blades that I got for free with the saw were used blades and they were junk. So I was never impressed with it, even though when it did work. And now I'm here to tell you, this thing's the truth. So I got something that actually works now. So let's fire it up and I'll show you how it cuts. So hopefully you can see this. I think you can. Yeah. Granted, that's just a piece of 1/2" plywood, but I cut through that with absolutely no effort whatsoever. So I did the adjustments to make sure the guides were all working and were adjusted correctly, and well, that's it. So I got a working bandsaw. So I spent about 30 bucks on the tires, and I think the blade was $20, $17, no, $11. So I don't know. I'll link it in the description in case you have a similar or same saw, and that way I'll link the tires as well. I bought the tires from, again, polybelt.com, and I bought the Olson bandsaw blade from Amazon. And they have all different sizes for all different saws. So so that's that project, a little quick Friday night project. Now I can go make my router lift and work on that video, and I'll get that released just as soon as I can. So once again, thanks for watching. Appreciate your support. If you liked the video, hit that thumbs up button, hit that share button. And if you're not subscribed, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe, as I bring some woodworking or garage projects or home projects pretty much every weekend, if not twice a week. So thanks again.